Well, Raj, you certainly have an impressive career track record. Now, what do you think are the qualities that have enabled you to achieve this?
Well, the top three qualities I can think of, obviously the first would be my ambition. I believe that I have what it takes to get to the top, and therefore nothing will get in my way. That's my first quality. Second quality will, of course, be my experience. I'm talking about 15 years experience in this industry. Third, of course, is perseverance. I'll do whatever it takes to get the job done, no matter what happens. Now, if you see from my CV, I've been nominated as the company's most outstanding employee for the last 3 years running. And in fact, last year I closed the company's biggest deal, worth 10 million ringgit single-handedly. But of course, I can't take all the credit for that. I have a very good team, a strong team of about 20 consultants, and I always believe we have to lead by example to achieve the desired rewards at the end of the day. Now, I believe in the holy trifecta in terms of the different stakeholders, which is the management, the customer, as well as the staff, in order to create a win-win-win situation for all parties concerned.
Wow, that's impressive. Now, Raj, tell me, how do you think you can fit into my client's expansion plans, which I've outlined to you earlier?
Very interestingly, I understand that your company is looking to expand very aggressively to the Asia-Pacific region, as well as doubling your sales turnover. Now, that is a monumental task, but with the right people to helm your company, hopefully you'll be able to reach that target. And I think one of the most important things I can bring to the table is the fact that I can hit the ground running. I have a very extensive network of business contacts throughout the Asia-Pacific region, which you can leverage on. I have the desired experience, and most importantly, I have the drive to grow with the company and the vision which you have at the present.
So tell me, what would be your motivation to join my client's company?
Well, I'm actually quite comfortable in the company I am right now, but I guess that's where the dilemma is. Once, I would definitely like to have more personal growth and to seek out new challenges to be able to test my capabilities and limits. And I think your company would be very ideal for me to do that. And that was an example of an interview with an executive search consultant. Now, as we know, an executive search consultant, or more commonly known as headhunters, are employed by companies looking for talents to fill positions in their organizations. Now, as we all know, these are mainly senior managerial roles or people with very specialized skills. Now, these talented personnel obviously are not those which are active job seekers or someone you would look at the classified newspapers. So a headhunter's role is basically to source out such individuals, put them through a strict criteria, assess their suitability, and provide a short list of candidates to their clients. Henry Lee is a highly experienced headhunter with more than 30 years' experience in management training and development and the past 21 years as an executive search consultant. He started his career with MIM, where he managed their qualification programs, and later started a joint MBA program with Bath University, UK. He moved on to being Dean of Studies at Sunway College, then Head of Management Development at PA Consulting Group, a UK company where he also managed the Cranfield MBA program. He then worked his way up to being country head for the recruitment business, thereafter managing director for Future Step, Corn Ferry, before starting up his own executive search firm in 2005. The business has grown to being among the top-tier search firms in terms of consulting resources. And now we're going to look at some of the headlines made by the CEO of Cap Talents, Mr. Henry Lee. Now, the perception with regards to headhunting is about just knowing the right people and then connecting them between the employer and the potential employee. Is it as simplistic as that?
Well, I think that is really a fallacy. Headhunting is a process. It is not just networking. It is not just who you know in the industry. It is a structured process whereby you need to understand client needs thoroughly. Consultants then need to understand where would the candidates come from and do the proper research in identifying target organizations, cold calling such candidates, and in the process determine if such candidates qualify or have met the client requirements before a face-to-face interview is conducted. So it is a structured, comprehensive, disciplined process rather than just who you know in the industry.
Well, that's a very good comment there. Now, we have all these dilemmas which we are facing. What would you suggest be a solution to addressing all these problems?
Well, some of us who have been in the industry for long have actually, been very concerned with this trend of proliferation of headhunting firms that has come in and tarnished the good image of headhunters in the industry. So a group of us elders have got together to try to form an association of executive search consultants, of which I'm the pro-time chairman. We have formed a pro-time committee, and since last year we have got down to deliberating and come up with the constitutions and so forth, So we are in the final stages of registering the association.
Right. Now, coming back to something on a more personal basis with Cap Talent, I understand you're planning to go regional very soon.
That has been in my mind for some time. I started this firm, Cap Talent, in 2005, and we have been running very successfully over the past 7 years or so. And currently, my firm has 9 consultants, operating consultants, and this puts us, amongst the bigger organization, the top tier organization. And it has come to a time when I feel, and my consultants are actually quite excited about this, that we should go regional. I think the global scene has changed. Talents, there's a greater mobility of talents regionally and globally as well, and we see potential, we see synergy, in going regional.
Right. Speaking of regional, which countries have you identified as your first pit stop?
We are currently doing research into the respective countries, and some of the countries that we are looking at, would be Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, and Indonesia.
Not so much Singapore, huh?
Well, Singapore, I think, is a bit crowded,
right?
With major firms being there, But eventually, it's not a place that we have excluded. It's not a geography we have excluded.
Right. Any target date with regards to this big development?
We hope this will happen within the next calendar year.
Right. Now, you were employed as a professionals for many years. Huh? What motivated you to start Cap Talents?
I would say that, perhaps it was in my blood, to want to venture out, start an organization. But during the couple of decades, during the decades I was in the industry, I suppose, I was just too busy and perhaps enjoying my work. And hence, the years just gone by, without me really starting up my own firm. In about 2004, 2005, the company which I was heading, I was the MD of one of the international recruitment firms, the business model changed, and I thought that, that was really a catalyst, for me to say that, well, perhaps it's time, for me to venture out. Because I was fundamentally grounded in executive search. So that was how I took the concrete step, in starting Cap Talent.
So basically moving out from the comfort zone which you have been accustomed to for many years.
Yes, that's right.
Right. So when you left, obviously there would be an agreement which you needed to sign that you would not pinch talents from your previous companies. Is that was what happened?
Not so much talents, but more of their clients. I think they want to protect their clients, their clientele base. There were restrictions, with regard to pinching their clients, but that really wasn't too much of a problem for me. I was a known figure in the industry, and when I started the firm, I just sourced for new clients, and the economy then was vibrant. I didn't have problems getting new clients. But over a period of time, some of the old clients, they had needs and they came to me and so forth, And on a selective basis, I did work with them, but I think by the time they approached me, that was kind of, close outside the restriction time frame, with regard to me being able to work with clients of my previous employer.
The capital city of Kuala Lumpur, a city covering an area of 243 square kilometers and has an estimated population of 1.6 million as of 2012, is a central hub of the business and economy in Malaysia. The gross domestic product for Kuala Lumpur is estimated at 73,536 million ringgit in 2008, with an average annual growth of 5.9%. The per capita GDP for Kuala Lumpur in 2008 is 48,556 ringgit, with an average annual growth of 5.9%. The total employment in Kuala Lumpur is estimated at around 838,400. The average monthly household income for Kuala Lumpur was 4,105 ringgit in 1999, up from 3,371 4 years prior, making it 66% higher than the national average. In terms of household income distribution, 23.5% of households in the city earn more than 5,000 ringgit per month, compared to 9.8% for the entire country, while 8.1% earn less than 1,000 ringgit a month. With that being said, it's imperative that headhunting or executive search companies find the very best talent in order to make the Malaysian economy stronger and achieve our developed nation status by 2020. Henry, what's the significant difference between working for someone and running your own show right now?
Raj, there are key differences being an employed professional versus being an entrepreneur running my own search firm. I was the chief executive of two major international search firms for a good decade and a half before venturing out on my own. I think the key difference now and then is that I call the shots, of course, and I'm able to be more client-centric, making sure I focus on client and delivering quality candidates to my clients, as well as spending a lot more personal time interacting with my consultants to make sure that our standards are there.
Right. One of the beauties of having full creative control. Now, speaking of which, can you tell us how does a headhunting business work as a whole?
Headhunting process is a very structured process. We will begin with meeting with the client, engaging with the client in terms of understanding the industry that they are in, the company status within the industry, the job context and the job content. Now, we would like to have a very comprehensive understanding of how the position comes about, what would they require the candidate to do, and the candidate specifications before we are able to move on with undertaking the search process. Having understood the client requirements, the following processes would be us doing research to understand where would the candidates come from what industries, typical companies, the typical level that we should be focusing on. This requires lots of research. The sourcing part is perhaps one of the most intensive part in the search process, which would determine whether the assignments goes well. We are an organization that relies on multi-sources of candidate. Our candidates will come from our own databases that we have built over the years, our network of people that we know, in organizations. We would sometimes, mine third-party data. But the key success factor in terms of searching senior level talents would be primary search. How I mean by this is that we will target specific organizations and derive individuals who may be suitable for such positions. Now, having done that, we would then get in touch with our prospective candidates, engage with them on the phone, and if broadly they meet the client requirement, we'll then invite them in for an interview. This is a face-to-face process.
Right.
Now, this repeats itself with the various candidates we have got. At the end of the process, we'll shortlist 3 candidates for our clients, present them with a report, following which the client would take over, conducting their own interviews. And when the client has ultimately narrowed down and selected a candidate, we'll work with the client in terms of doing a reference check, as well as negotiating the final package for the candidates.
Phew, that sounds like a lot of work. So I guess what our viewers would like to know, how much do you charge for your services?
Okay, there's always the dollar questions. Now, there are 2 mode of charges that we apply to client. One is on a retained basis, whereby when the client gives us a mandate to start the assignment, we'll immediately bill the client a portion of the bill, the estimated invoices, primarily because we'll be putting in time, allocating time for the assignment. However, the industry in this country has changed again significantly, at the expense of headhunters, I must say.
Really?
Currently, clients expect us to fill positions on a success basis. That is, if we don't deliver the candidates,
You don't get paid.
we won't get paid.
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah. Our charges to clients will be based on the annual remuneration or package that is offered to the candidate. This would include the base salary, the annual base salary, and the fixed allowances and perks that goes with it. Usually, the percentage that we charge, will be 25% of the annual remuneration.
Right. Speaking of clients, what are some of the major clients that you have worked with before?
Well, we work across the board. I'm afraid I cannot reveal specific clients to you. We work in a confidential industry. However, we have been very active working with clients in market leadership position. In fact, most of our clients are in market leadership positions in their own industry. We are very active in telecommunications, construction, heavy engineering, manufacturing, FMCG, which is fast-moving consumer goods,
right.
and the service sector.
Right. Now, it sounds like some of the major companies you work with are the multinationals and large conglomerates. What about the SMEs? Are they major clients as well, or is the cost too prohibitive?
Well, admittedly, over the years, the mainstay of our business has been with multinationals and large conglomerates. These are companies that have their own human resource department. They place heavy emphasis, in terms of recruiting people in leadership roles. But in the recent years, I do see lots of SMEs, the small business, small medium-sized enterprises, coming forward to us to ask us to recruit talents for them. These are companies, many companies that is now in the position where they are preparing for the next stage of growth. And I would say, this is a healthy trend and it will be growing.
Where do you hope to see Cap Talent in 5 years' time?
Well, in 5 years' time, we hope to have presence, at least on a regional basis. The industry is changing, the labor market is changing, the talent market is changing. We hope to be able to be placed in a position where we provide additional service offerings to our clients. For example, we have already begun, proposing to some of our clients, instead of you handling your own recruitment, having a team of people to do it, why not outsource it to us? We take over your issues, we take over your problems, because we are trained in those fields, we do a better job. So let us take it over from you, run the recruitment function for you. So we'll be providing more service offerings. Now, the other dream that I've got is this. Most of the major firms that operate within Malaysia are international firms from the West, or a few of them are regional firms. We, as far as I know, do not have a Malaysian firm that has the regional and international presence. So it will be nice and it will be a dream for me over a period of time to grow such a firm, grow a Malaysian brand, to have that presence. And I think, it is something when I achieve it, I can hold my head up high.
Now, Everest of course sounds like a massive adventure. What did you eventually take out of the trip when you came back to Malaysia?
The trip was fascinating. I had always wanted to go to the Himalayas, to see what the place is like, and having been there, I think it is awesome. You're with nature where things are unspoiled. It almost hits you spiritually, to be so small in this very vast world.
That's right.
People there live in very rudimentary conditions. There are places without electricity, and if there are electricity, it is really solar energy. Water is not in abundance. Certain points we just don't eat meat because there's no refrigeration. And the meat would not be fresh. I see the simplicity of life, but I think in simplicity there's also happiness.
That's true.
I don't see people there being unhappy. So it was a really great experience, one in a lifetime experience for me.
And that concludes Season 2 of Persona. We hope you enjoyed the various interviews with all the colourful personalities and corporate captains right here. We, on behalf of Capital TV, would like to thank you for following us in Season 2, and we will look forward to seeing you again. My name is Raj Arya, and before I end, why not we take a flashback into all the interesting moments right here on Persona in Season 2. Bye.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Tim, you are under us for being one of Asia's best entrepreneurs.
I think we are blessed because we live in the land of pirates. So you use a pirate as your marketing.
Whatever it is, if anything goes wrong, I'm young enough to reclimb again. So that's why I started business.
Your work is not up to par. Say, what kind of training is that?
You can never make enough money.
Questioning ourselves and saying, are you sure we're going to carry on with it?
When you're human, if you make a mistake again, then you're not very clever.
Having a studio at home allows me to, not have to schedule my creative urgencies.
To know that coming into automotive opens up doors to getting a degree worldwide.
I think like in any business, the biggest asset, my view, I think is a human asset.
Habits of consumers are ever changing, and we need to be able to follow them through. So hence the reason why we're also going to talk about doing this.
Chance to earn extra 1,000 per year just by writing a blog post. Why not?
Charge something, you make something valuable. Yeah. So we actually got a higher engagement and more people talk about it after we become a paid magazine.